November 15th, 2023. I am at Joel Pearl. It's time to get in the weeds. Yeah. Okay, fine. You know what? Let's get into it. It's 10 after the hour. I apologize. My computer is the problem this time. It's the culprit. It decided, hey, I'm going to do an update. And then it decided that every step along the way, it was going to freeze like hell. So I apologize for that. It's not my internet. I've got gigabit internet. It's technically 2 gigabit if I updated my card, but I've got gigabit internet and it works great. But that's the problem this morning. Not the groceries, not the dial-up, not the state of the universe. My computer decided to be a little bitch.
Joel.
Jeremy Lambert's here. Hi.
For 10 minutes, as the people in the chat wondered where we were. Ryan's correct. Joel's fault. 100% Joel's fault. For 10 minutes, I've just been sitting here, Joel. I've been sitting here trying to find myself, get behind myself, need to rewind myself. What are we doing, Joel?
Apparently looking up Rick Ross lyrics?
No. Looking for the payback? Listen to the playback?
Spice Girls?
They say that every man bleeds just like me, Joel.
NWA? Are you giving up scoops? Flip Gordon's going to join the NWA?
Oh boy, yeah, I saw this was a thing with his different hats. Someone in the chat's gonna pop big for this reference. Maybe, I don't know.
I love.
Cody. Do you not know the song? Do you really not know the song?
Not by lyrical content.
That's the opening of the song. I feel like number one, yet I'm last in line. Watched by youngest son. It helps to pass the time. Took too many pills that helps to ease the pain. Made a couple dollar bills, but I feel the same. Everybody knows my name. Say it way out loud. Come on, Joel. A lot of folks, I censored myself. It's hard to hang out in crowds. Guess that's the price you pay.
I know what it is.
Some big shot like I am.
I'm asking you please to stop.
What happened?
I can't listen to any Kid Rock anymore.
Oh my God, why? Only God knows why.
You got that one guy. You popped
that one. Only God knows why. Only God knows why.
I'm getting
me to the river. Hey, take me to the river. Yeah.
Getting messages from the anonymous ITW general manager saying, I'm so mad I recognize this so fast.
It's a good song, man.
Oh, God, that's awful. Anyway, give Jeremy money for his work, both on and off.
I censored myself, everybody. I knew 5 minutes in, I censored myself.
That's so funny. Kid Rock and Creed performances constantly. Ask him why he's so mad at me.
Who said this?
Who do you think?
I don't know.
She's spent an entire year married to you, plus now.
That's unfortunate.
That's what I thought too.
That's unfortunate.
Oh my goodness. This is the show. Leave a thumbs up on the video, and of course, subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked. And while you're here, donate a super chat, any email, get your question or statement read on the air. We have plenty to talk about, I'm sure. The plan, tentatively, let's see. Again, this has happened before. Joey Janela at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to find out in about 45 minutes. Hopefully, Joey's able to join us. If not, we have other plans for the rest of the week that will hopefully come to fruition, and we'll have some fun. But we do here anyway, Jeremy.
I'm going to be honest with everybody. This is not Joey Janela's fault at all. This is just who. Oh, look, if Joey comes on, we're definitely going to sing. Joey's a big karaoke guy. He performs in front of Hulk Hogan and Nasty Boy Brian Knobbs. So
I got to ask him about that. Holy shit.
Big karaoke guy, Joey Janela. So Joe was supposed to join us last week, and he's planning to running late, and he also just said he forgot everything. So I was like, "We good next week? Is that cool?" He's like, "Yeah, Wednesday's cool." All right, I'll send you a message. He's like, "Okay." I sent him a message last night or yesterday morning. Didn't hear from him. I sent him a message again after the Andrade news dropped. I was like, "Joey, we good? Everything good? Tomorrow 11?" I got back a sure. Just a sure. And then I was like, all right, cool. See that. I'll send you a message in the morning. So I sent them a message in the morning. Do you know where Joey Janela is right now?
He's not on the Revolver show. Is he? He's not going to Japan.
No.
Where's GCW this weekend? They're in LA, aren't they? They're running
Seattle.
They're Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh no. 8 a.m. Joey?
Joey Janela was in Vegas at some point in the last 24 hours.
Yes, said he dropped $800, but ate very well.
I'm going to be honest with people. It's about 80-20 of Joey on this show today. And the 80s a no, the 20s a yes. That's the odds I'm giving. That's the odds. If you guys want to make some bets here.
Yeah, give Vegas odds on this since we're really timely on this one.
Yeah, it's I'm going the odds of Joey showing up are at about plus 300 if you want to make a bet on that. Not terrible odds. Plus 300. Bet $100, win $300. So plus 300 on Joey showing up here.
Wow. Well, there you go. Get your bets in, I guess. But also, we won't pay out. Maybe Vegas will. Just tweet Joey. Just go ahead, tweet Joey. Be like, hey, will you be on In the Weeds at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, and see if it comes through. See if he comes through. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this should be a bit. Every show is Janela watch. There are enough
it's turning into it every Wednesday. Every Wednesday is just going to be. All right, let's see if we can book Joey for today's show. It's like, what was the Kimmel bit? Apologies to Matt Damon. That was where they ran out of time today. They never had Matt Damon on. This is apologies to In the Weeds. Joey cannot be here today.
We'll
see.
It's like everybody. Sean on Mondays, Joey Watch on Wednesdays, and Zarian on Fridays. Look at that.
There you go. There you go, everyone.
Zarian sent me a very funny photo of himself yesterday and said, I've got a new gimmick. And it was very, very the family looking gimmick. It was, I'll send it to you later, but it was very funny. He was helping someone move apparently. And it was, he looked real G'd up. It was funny as hell. Anyway.
Speaking of G'd up, happy anniversary to the G Unit album. There is a song on that album called G'd Up. They stay G'd up, Joel.
They do.
If you're a fan of 50 Cent, make sure you holla G Unit. He does not want to be in the pen for clapping one of his fans.
Anyway, while we're also giving the shout outs, Brian Cage, Mel Santos, welcome to new baby. Yesterday, officially they announced it. So congratulations to Brian and Mel Santos.
Good
Brian, his name is now Brian Santos. Now that I've called them Brian and Mel Santos, he has adopted the Santos name. She's not Mel Cage. He is Brian Santos.
I'm gonna answer it. Good on them. Good, we like people having kids. Carmella had her kid last week. Carmella and Corey Graves. So good on these wrestlers fucking. It's past 10. I can say it. Good on them. 9 months ago they were fucking. I guess.
Yes, I was gonna say we don't know what they've been up to since.
Yeah.
They also already have a kid, so
good on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Logan Paul's fucking in the U.S. title.
He was specifically told not to. He doesn't listen to rules. He's not a rule follower, that Logan Paul.
By the way, I would like credit for correctly saying, because Logan pointed this out. Maybe Logan's just being a good guy. I don't know. But everyone's praising Logan. Oh, saved Ray. And I was the one. SB3 was on this show last Monday. Saved Ray. Look at Logan Paul. So great. He saved Ray. And I'm like, maybe it was Logan's fault. Maybe Logan was too far back. Have we thought about this? Have we given this 2 seconds of thought to think that Logan might have been too far back? And Logan said, I think I was too far back. Ray did not clear enough ground. We had to save it. And maybe he's being nice guy Logan Paul, but stuff happens. This is not to say Logan Paul did a bad job. This is not to take away anything from Logan Paul, who is fantastic. But I hate to admit this, Joel. I really hate to admit this. I think I'm a Logan Paul fan. I don't know why I hate to admit that. He was on Fox Business promoting this like gold prime bottle. Have you seen this nonsense?
No, but I can absolutely believe that that's something he would do.
So it's this gold prime bottle. He's like, yeah, you get prime, you enter a code, and you some not. I have no idea, you know. And then he's like, yeah, if nobody wins it, we're just gonna drop this gold prime bottle into a vat of acid, which I don't believe that like he fully thinks is like, I don't know. We're just gonna drop this to a vat of acid. And I'm just like, this is amazing. And the Fox, I forget who he's on with, but this guy, he's very dry and very like quick to the point. I actually really liked him as an interviewer. He's like, you're just like doing stuff, don't you? He's like, yeah, I'm just trying to go viral. Like, I'm just trying to do like, yeah, not Gotham. I don't know. He's like, yeah, I'm just like trying to go viral. Like, I'm just trying to do like fun stuff and like, I'm just whatever I can do to. He's like, I know what I'm doing. He's like, I know. The guy was like, so this is like a publicity stunt. And Logan's like, yeah, it is. I admit it. It's a publicity stunt. We're just trying to get people interested. I'm like, I kind of like this guy. Like he's honest about stuff. And listening to him yesterday on Impulsive talk about the race bot and what he wants to do as a champion and stuff. I'm like, he doesn't he's got a history and he piece of garbage for all of that. But now I'm like, doesn't seem that terrible. At least this personality. Maybe he's a terrible human being. I'm sure all these people are terrible human beings, but
Yeah.
I kind of like Logan Paul. This is terrible, I know.
So, two things. One, I love it's like, oh, this is just a big publicity stunt. Logan Paul's entire life is a giant publicity stunt.
Yeah, and look what he's done with it. Credit to him.
Yeah, listen, he's gone far. I think as a wrestler in the wrestling world, he's really proven that he's good at this. And there's no harm in taking away from that. And by all accounts, he came in, he wasn't egoed up. He came in and was like, I'll learn, I will do, I want to do well at this because it's another he loves athletic endeavors, right? Boxing has been a big thing for him. Wrestling has become a thing. MMA at one point, I think he wanted to try, or at least was, training for a bit. He's done it. He said it that athleticism and feats of athleticism make him happy. That's great. If he comes in egoless and he wants to learn from people who are better so that he can become great, wonderful. Deserves the praise. Yeah, as a human, kind of a trash bag. I know everyone points to the video, his infamous forest video in Japan, but I will also point out that he's embroiled in like an NFT scandal with that crypto zoo bullshit, and that's been something that he's been called on and has not nothing. I don't think anything has happened from it, other than just being called out. Whether or not he was a spokesperson or had direct lines to what it was, what it was about, I don't know. But regardless, he is not without fault. But I will say, in the world of professional wrestling, yeah, he's doing real well, and he continues to do well, and he's become a good ambassador for wrestling too. He's got the title belt. He's doing stuff he shouldn't be, but he's getting publicity out of it. So he's doing the things that you, me, Jensen, SP3, we all talked about being a positive for Logan Paul running with the WWE a championship of any kind. So I can't take it away from him. He's entertaining.
It's very entertaining, very charismatic as well. Super charismatic, but also seems like not a great person. So I don't know. Yeah, he's not terrible because he's honest about scamming people. That is very true. Like,
oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm looking at the seating chart they just released for the 3-day combo tickets for WrestleMania week, and it looks like they're selling tickets behind what would be the staging area. So I think they're hoping for a stageless Raw and SmackDown, or just a small type of stage for those events. That looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. Survivor Series also is presumably going stageless or low profile stage, because those seats have well been sold behind where they would normally put a stage. It's cool.
What if they're selling those tickets so you can see backstage?
Have you ever been looked at that area?
Yeah, I kind of when I was I mean, like it shows up all the time on like television every now and again. But yeah, that little area when it's SmackDown earlier this year, we were kind of off to that side to where you could see that little area. So yes, I have. Why?
because you don't really see much. Like you see computers, you
Yeah.
see people kind of running around, but you don't see wrestlers very much. And the way that this, and I think this is genius, the office, the backstage set that you see where Gorilla is, that is an office that is built every week into the actual set for Raw, SmackDown, whatever you're watching. And there are videos of conversions from arenas, putting up the Raw, SmackDown sets where you see them building the office out as well and like rolling it into place so that they can build the rest of the set around it. My point being, like, yeah, sit behind there, you ain't seeing shit. Like you don't even see, you won't see anything. You'll see like the roof of that room. And in AEW, when I went to the first Grand Slam, that was a little more open because they had they don't have any like gorilla enclosed area. They just kind of have like we've seen in the backstage, right? It's just a bunch of tables and monitors, unless it's been updated in the last couple of years. It's very bare bones backstage in terms of like what they use or what they use for decoration. You could see wrestlers kind of getting ready, walking around around the staging area, and then kind of walking up the stairs to go out those tunnels. But other than that, like it's you see more at an AEW show sitting in the back area than you would at a WWE show.
Well, I'm saying this is a new thing. They're gonna open it up so you can see a little bit more of that stuff. You know, they're gonna have more going on to like really try to sell these tickets, Joel.
It's true. You're going to be able to throw your drink at Triple H if you don't like what he's doing. Hey, Paul. Swoosh.
Can
What
he
the
be as
hell was
cool as
that?
Scott Hall? Can he be as cool as Scott Hall? He doesn't have hair, so he couldn't like slick it back if a drink hits him.
He just put it in his beard.
Maybe.
Grab it, just go.
Maybe.
It's going to become a weird ASMR podcast. Anyway, let's get into a couple super chats. First one comes from Cody Will saying, Mickey is gone from the TNA promos. Is she SmackDown bound? I don't know, but I will say that Mickey was working under the Impact banner, the TNA banner, whatever you want to call it now, as it was a handshake deal, it was a free agent deal. She was never signed to the company fully. It was always just an agreement. She would appear for shows. So I don't know if it could be much ado about nothing. Yeah, hubby's working there. Nick Aldis is there as SmackDown, playing the general manager role on air and also as a producer. It's possible she comes back, but we don't know what her situation is. I don't know if you have anything to add, Jeremy.
Did they take her off of the banner because they have other women? The big TNA rebrands at Hard to Kill. They confirmed, even though it was kind of confirmed before, but Trinity and Jordan. So are they now front and center there? What was that?
It was the Impact Wrestling website decides to autoplay video, which is garbage.
Oh.
No, they didn't. I don't think they ever had Mickey on the original branding for.
Nah, she was. I remember that first picture. Yeah, hold on. I'll like pull it up on the website because I definitely remember.
Gonna autoplay stuff, by the way.
So no. Our website, not.
Our website. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if our website autoplay stuff.
No, it doesn't.
Got a good ad blocker.
It's a smart ass wrestling website.
So let me look for this photo here. I forgot there's been a lot of TNA stuff since the official announcement.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I do think she was. I'm pretty positive she was part of the original picture there.
I don't think
so. It could just be she's not there because. Oh
no, she was. You're right. Here it is. Yeah, between Macklin and Josh Alexander.
So no, maybe they took her off because they have a match announced for Hard to Kill, and so I don't know who's on there now. Like I'd have to see the new photo of who is on there because you could probably put Jordan. If Jordan's in her spot, I think that makes sense.
Okay, so they just announced the Orlando tapings in January in Florida, hence Orlando. On this is hilarious. Ace of Base, so Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Trinity, Alex Shelley, so Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin's there too, Tommy Dreamer, and then MK Ultra. So basically, all their title holders,
the champions. Yeah. All right, so I wouldn't read too much into that. Like they're putting champions on there.
And Cody's saying she's off the roster page as well. It's entirely possible that she's done. She lost at Bound for Glory, and then the whole shot wasn't even about it wasn't even her opponent. Like it wasn't about Trinity. It was what's next for Mickie James, and it felt like well, maybe that was it for Mickey, or until they bring her back for another big show. Even for Hard to Kill, I've mentioned, like, I don't think there's any reason for her to be on the card. It feels like Gail Kim is going to be on the card wrestling against Deonna Purrazzo in like a, passing the torch type of knockouts match. And then that's got a lot of people talking about what happens with Purrazzo. She's going to be a free agent. Where's she going to go? I mean, who knows? But if that's where they're going to go for Hard to Kill, that's a pretty big moment for Deonna and Gail to have.
Yeah, I don't know if Gail's gonna wrestle on there. Here's the thing about the Impact roster page. By the way, Heath is still listed. I'm pretty sure he's confirmed free agent.
Heath will probably take a look on Friday if he's still on there, because he's on the show this Thursday wrestling against Moose. So that could be one of those, like, we're letting a kayfabe play out.
Gotcha. I know the roster page on Impact was a weird thing for a while of like, oh yeah, this person's on there when they're not signed. This person's not on there when they are signed. So, and Mickey was gone for a while. You would think they would have that thing. By the way, oh my gosh, what did they? I mean, I know Tom. Like, this is upsetting.
What is
this photo?
Oh, you're bringing something up
of Tommy Dreamer. My gosh,
most Tommy Dreamer photos nowadays aren't exactly flattering, so let's see.
What this is, they I don't know if they did him dirty. Hold on, I'm gonna put this up. Derek says I could show you shoes on it until the end of October. I checked on it. Okay, there you go. Like, maybe then Mickey is gone, but like Joel said, it seemed like it was kind of a handshake deal in the first place, and then now might be finished up, and maybe she comes back at the start of the new year. Maybe she does show up on SmackDown. Aldous is obviously there, her husband, so it's possible. Maybe she's the fourth woman, brother, for the for Survivor Series team. I don't know how you introduce her into that.
Yeah, I don't know. Because Mickey coming back to WWE, like, yeah, there are some good matches there, but you gotta, I don't know, you can't, you gotta play it differently. That's all than how you brought her back last time.
Yeah, I don't think you can just do like Nick Aldis is like, you know what? I got the perfect person for this team. Here's my wife.
Oh my God. The discourse alone would be fantastic, though. Oh my God. Nepotism in WWE? Never.
This photo of Tommy Dreamer.
I gotta see this thing. Are you? Oh no, Thomas. Upper body business.
Mean.
A little bit. Well, I mean, everyone's mean to Tommy. Look at that hair in the. Oh my gosh.
The hair is honestly fantastic.
Tommy learned from Brody Lee, rest his soul. He learned the top knot will cover any male pattern baldness you may be experiencing. Because I don't know if you remember, but like Brody, when he was Luke Harper in WWE, like he would do when he was with the Bludgeon Brothers, he did the top knot, and he said it himself. He's like, you can't see what's thinning up on top. And then Tommy Dreamer started doing it. And yeah, Tommy was like, well, I'm going to do it double because I'm extreme. So he just made some weird double top knot bottom thing. God bless.
Bless Tommy Dreamer. Still going strong at in 2023 as a champion. Bless him. Tommy Dreamer seems like a cool guy. Why won't Tommy Dreamer come on our show? You've had yeah, that's it does look like AI. Yeah. Thank you.
Did you check his fingers? Do you see his fingers in the photo? That's the one major thing I learned from Will Washington. Nothing wrestling related. Just talking about AI art. And he's like, check the fingers. You can always tell it's fake if you look at the hands, because you'll always see something wrong. So, oh my, he's got him. He's got
his fist.
Got his fist.
Maybe the pinky as he's holding his title there could be a little.
I think it's real. I just don't think it's very well lit.
I definitely think it's real, but it does look like it's an AI photo.
It looks like it was just photoshopped to hell.
What about this photo?
Gotta talk to her. Somehow I knew that was coming. Did you show that to Sean on the spotlight that week when he showed up? Like when he did it?
Yeah, I was like, what do you think of this? Jensen was very confused. Of like, what is this, huh? Why is Billy Corgan just hanging out with Jessica Simpson? Like, that's life's great mysteries.
Yep. Sometimes we just do whatever our PR people tell us to do. Oh my goodness. Chi-Town Spurs sent us another super chat. Let's go in another direction. The Chase U angle on NXT makes me irrationally angry. What kind of college fan base walks out on their team due to a scandal? They double and triple down. They make every excuse. They poison trees. They riot. Have you've been following this? Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the Chase U angle. It's something is going on with Chase U. Do you think what do you think the angle is? Did he boink a student?
I'm with Chi-Town Spurs in that it does not matter what the angle is. They would never walk out on the team, on the college. Penn State is still like Penn State, Joe Paterno, legend. It's like, yeah, this guy sucked, everybody. Like, no, let's not do that. Everyone is still like, yeah, Penn State, Penn State, Penn State. Like, maybe they mention him in hushed tones nowadays, but like, they still ride for Penn State. They kick the person out. They don't walk out. So they gotta overthrow Andrade Chase here. Not like, oh, we're gonna leave Chase U. It's overthrowing Andrade Chase. Nah, they did this angle wrong.
They're too busy just being like, is this Jim Harbaugh? Is this Michigan? Is this? And I'm just sitting there just being like, I'm Canadian. This means nothing.
See, but Michigan's still going to ride for Michigan. Like, Michigan students and fans are still riding for Michigan. They'll throw Jim Harbaugh out. Be like, okay, let's get a new coach in here. But they ain't walking out on Michigan. They ain't protesting all of Michigan because of this. Like, they're going to protest Harbaugh. So, nah, they did it wrong. I'm with my man Chi-Town Spurs there.
Caden adds in to Chase U hire Connor Stallions. So everything I've learned about this whole Michigan thing comes from Jesse the Buckeye, who was the worst person to be learning about Michigan State.
Yeah, she's not biased as a like literally the Buckeye in her Twitter name.
God bless that woman. She's a riot, and everything she's posting is like anti-Michigan State, and I'm just like, is there more to life than this? Because like you're proving there ain't, and that's whatever. Good on you, but Jesus. See? Yeah. That's true. That's a good point.
That whole thing came out, and everyone was still like, "Not my Joe Paterno. Absolutely not. He did nothing wrong. Not my beloved Joe. You can't take our wins away. No, don't. You can't take our banners away. Can't. Absolutely not."
Yeah, Will Chisholm thinks he's stealing. Chase U stealing money from his own school. That's possible.
He's stealing it, like he's putting it in steel, and like,
yeah, he's Superman. He's shooting it off into the sun. I think that it's going to come out that he boinked a student, and the student that he boinked is JC, because JC's enrolled at Chase U, and it's just that's going to be the scandal. Just so that we can get my oh my god, they're gonna theory out of the way.
I don't like any of that.
Neither do I, but I just think it's going to be two consenting adults boinked, and they're going to make it into a nothing burger of a story.
Don't like any of this. Don't like any of this.
What would you like to happen in this grand scheme of the Chase U story? They certainly aren't getting back the NXT Tag Team Championships anytime soon.
I would like them to go full Bishop Sycamore on this.
Oh no, okay.
And that Chase U is not a real university. And it's all a scam. It's all a scandal. Andre Chase told these people, yeah, we're going to have the best training facilities. We're going to get you on NXT TV. And then it all is a scandal of that. This is not a real university. They were getting no education during this. He was keeping all the money for himself. And this was all just an Andre Chase vehicle. He didn't care about these students. He didn't care about any of them. He didn't care what happened to them next. They all got injured. They got to run some injury angles on this too, by the way. So it's like we didn't have proper medical everything. I watched this documentary the other week. Maybe it was like 3 weeks ago or something at this point. It's fantastic. That dude, by the way, a lot of charisma. Talking about that. It was very good. I need this to go full Bishop Sycamore. That's what I want.
Yeah, probably not. What if Duke gets control? What if Chase U signs it over to Duke?
Duke,
no problem.
What?
Yes, it becomes Duke University, and he changes the colors to blue, and then he calls his team the Blue Devils, and they see how far they can get before they get a C and D.
Yeah, that's definitely not gonna last very long.
Who knows? What if they offer them? the original Duke Blue Devils a WWE championship belt with with their logo on it.
I'm sure they would, but no, they ain't getting along with that. Duke's got enough of its own allegations that, yeah, this is the same thing. Like the Duke allegations, not our boys. Absolutely, they could never do this. They are good old Duke Blue Devil Christian boys. I don't know if Duke is Christian school. Actually, no, it's not. Like it is a private school. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Louis with that Trump U accreditation.
I lived like 2 minutes away from Duke at one point in my life.
That's upsetting. Will Chisholm says that if Johnny Ace was still in NXT, it might be right. But the BS high school storyline. Listen. I said it when NXT 2.0 started. I said NXT 2.0 is high school. People passing each other in the halls, picking fights. Everyone was a character of some sort, trying to fit in. It was the NXT 2.0 universe was high school. High school on every single level you could think of. Tim and I did a whole study on that. It was fantastic.
We need it back.
We do. In some regard, we absolutely do. We like the girl with Tony D and Stacks. I don't know who the hell she is. And I'm the person who keeps track of these people.
Bang Ang.
Who?
I'm pretty I think it's something like that. Louis, shout out to Louis. Hold on. Let me actually get this right. Big Ang. Sorry, not Bang Ang. Big Ang.
Like Bang Ang sounds like she's working for someone else. With
I'm sure it's big. It's probably Big Ange, right? Big Ange. It's Anna Kiefer, by the way. Anna Kiefer.
Anna Kiefer. Big Ange. Oh my God.
Bang Ang. Is the name.
That's what we're gonna call her from now on at this rate. Bang Ang. So many confused people right now. Anyway, NXT last night was fine. I watched it. I had other plans, and then I was like, no, I guess I'm gonna watch NXT instead because
you don't have plans, Joel Pearl.
It wasn't so much plans. My idea was I was gonna sit in that big comfortable chair behind me, and I was gonna play Switch on this TV over here. I was gonna watch NXT in the background, but then I didn't. I ended up watching NXT and agonizing over flights and stuff like that because I don't know when to pull the trigger to bang my ticket to Vegas.
Okay.
My ticket. Bang. Anyway, nothing else happened on NXT.
I can't read. All right.
That's true. Read. Very famously unable to read considering your position, your professional life. Anyway, can she wrestle?
Can anybody really wrestle? Like, you know,
the bang gang.
Can anybody really wrestle?
That's true.
Draymond Green can wrestle. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about Draymond? I know you're not a basketball fan.
Isn't he done? Oh no, that's someone else. That's someone else. Go ahead. Was that
what? What are you talking about?
Football player who's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's Deshaun Watson. He's a piece of shit. He should be out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Draymond Green put a man in a chokehold. Did you not see this, Joel?
Buddy, I don't watch anything.
Joel, you don't have to watch it to know what's going on here. Hold on, let me pull up this photo. Yeah, we get copyright if I pull up like the video, probably.
Yeah, the video is one thing. The photo is fine. The video is not. I got a message today from someone being like, "Hey, has anyone ever clapped you for your thumbnails?" And I was like, "No, I didn't even think about that as a thing." But yeah, I was asking them because they're like, "Oh, we're working on our content stuff. I want to make sure that we don't get clapped for using like a copyrighted photo." I'm like, you can always just throw it. You can always.
I feel like I should be allowed to use the video, but whatever.
I wouldn't.
Rules are dumb.
Yeah, they are. Don't follow them. Steal from grocery stores at 8 a.m.
Are you admitting to something here, Joel?
No, but Caden says Draymond pulled a CM Punk. We're going to talk about CM Punk soon enough.
Look at this. Look.
That's funny.
This is in the middle of a basketball game. So what happened? What had happened is two guys were shoving, and Draymond comes in on Rudy Gobert here, just puts him in a chokehold, and then just pulls him away. By the way, the Timberwolves, they get choked out all the time. The guy up top there in the behind with the mean mug face, that's Karl Anthony Towns. He got choked out by Ben Simmons a few years ago. I actually talked to Chucky T. Sorry, Chucky T. I talked to Chucky T about Ben Simmons choking out Karl Anthony Towns. But Draymond just has his man in chokehold. Draymond famous for kicking people in the nuts and stomping on people. He's going to be. The Miz said that Draymond would be a good WWE superstar. I feel like that's his next role. Is being a WWE superstar. I wrote, if you want explore the depths and the lore of the internet. I wrote an article for a website called Fansided. I'm sure people have heard of that website.
Everyone's worked fan-sided at one point.
Yeah, everyone has written for Fansided at some point in their life.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, I wrote an article for them. Draymond Green versus LeBron James. I booked it at SummerSlam because WrestleMania is in the middle of the NBA season. So like I'm factually correct about stuff. Draymond Green and LeBron James. I booked this match for SummerSlam. I wrote out like weeks of content for it. It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Twan Mack, yeah, look, Daily DDT. I think that's what I wrote it for. I think I wrote it for actually Fanside's NBA site. Yeah, Draymond punched his own teammate in practice last year. Just straight hauled off it.
I remember that.
Yeah. And now the guy's not on the team anymore, and he looks like he shouldn't belong in basketball anymore the way he's playing, honestly. Draymond Green is, oh, man. I don't like him. He sucks. He's kind of an asshole, but Draymond versus Shaq. Nowadays, Shaq ain't in any shape to get into like a fight nowadays. Like,
you say that, but here we go. AEW, he definitely
Shaq.
Scrap.
Shaq. Prime Shaq is straight up murdering this man. Prime Shaq, I ain't messing with that dude at all. Like, Draymond ain't messing with Prime Shaq, but this Shaq's like 55 or something at this point. Like Draymond's NBA player, still good NBA player. Shaq's too busy worried about like the next stuff he's selling. But nah. Draymond's beating today's Shaq. All time, Shaq's destroying him. Absolutely destroying him.
I mean, it's a fight. You put on some gloves, some boxing gloves, do it right. And I'm sure Shaq could hold his own, right?
Shaq could barely hold his own like when he was just getting out of the league. Like he could barely hold his own in this stuff. Now we're like 2 decades removed from that. Shaq's getting beat. Prime Shaq is destroying him though. What type of fight we talking about? Like, is it a boxing fight? Is it MMA fight? Prime Shaq never landed a punch. He had terrible hands. I'm still taking Prime Shaq over Draymond. I don't know if it's like a wrestling kind of like MMA fight. I'm definitely taking Prime Shaq. That dude was a monster, like an athletic freak.
They're gonna toe wrestle.
Stop it.
What? I'm just hearkening back to our conversation with Simon Miller where we talked about toe wrestling. It's real. It's a thing.
Prime Shaq was an athletic freak. Prime Shaq is taking Draymond.
All right, that's fair. Listen, I guess we'll have to find out by pitting those two against each other in some form of combat. Caden sent a super chat saying Danielson out of WrestleCade going to cry. So I sent you a message yesterday just being like, I'm sorry about Danielson, and tell me what you replied with.
So I had an inkling this was going to happen. I thought to myself yesterday, and I told wife, I was like, I don't know if Danielson's going to go to WrestleCade. Like, I feel weird about it. I wonder if he's going to pull out a WrestleCade. And my reasoning was the injury and then the holidays. He's got Japan coming up. He's got this whole tournament coming up. He was announced for this thing like way. Like, when was the official announcement? I'm going to pull this up right fast.
Because it was many months. We're talking like 6 to 9 months ago.
And like, I'm sure obviously they knew that entire time that I could have sworn we wrote something on it, but apparently we didn't. That's unfortunate. Okay, hold on.
Well, anyway, they branded the show, or the branded WrestleCade Year of the Dragon. Like, they got deep into it, and now they've kind of had to pull it back because Danielson has pulled out of the event.
So yeah, they announced this thing a long time ago. Now, of course, if I search anything Bryan Danielson WrestleCade related, I'm getting just like, hey, Bryan Danielson's not going to be at WrestleCade. So that's not, helpful for me. Here, okay, January, I found something from January that said that Bryan Danielson to appear at WrestleCade. So yeah, it was. You don't know what's going to happen in November when you're talking January, right? Like, Kate said it was January. So you don't know what's going to happen in November. They obviously knew it was a holiday weekend. It's always a holiday weekend when they do WrestleCade. It's always the weekend after Thanksgiving. So clearly Danielson was fine with that portion of it. He didn't know he was going to suffer injuries throughout the year that was going to take time away from stuff. They didn't know they were going to do this Continental Classic that at the end of the year. I don't know if Danielson knew he was going to be in Japan in the following January. So, yeah, I had an inkling yesterday, and I was just like, I wonder if he pulls out because it's holidays. He's going to have to do this Continental Classic where seems like he's going to be wrestling a lot. He's just coming off this injury. He's coming off this injury, and he's going to be in Japan for January. And I don't know if Bree and the kids are going to travel with him, so he's going to miss time there. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. I didn't know if he was going to pull out, but I had an inkling of it, and that's what happened. It's very unfortunate, and yeah, they called it unforeseen circumstances, which typically means you're booked, and I agree on that. The Continental Classic thing, I don't know if he's wrestling. So the tournament starts that Wednesday in Chicago, and then they're in Chicago, I assume, that Saturday for Collision. Danielson may or may not be wrestling on one of those shows, but if he's wrestling on either one, I don't think he wants to do. Let's say he's wrestling on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday you're in Chicago wrestling. Are you flying back to Arizona Thursday for Thanksgiving with your family, then flying to North Carolina to do WrestleCade? Like, you're coming off this injury as well. Or if you're doing Thursday Thanksgiving with family, then going to WrestleCade. Obviously, if you're booked for Collision, you're booked for Collision, but maybe you can do the Friday WrestleCade and then go to Collision on Saturday. Like, it's a lot. And obviously WrestleCade is not going to be the priority over family and AEW.
I just think that Bryan Danielson, I think he cycles to and from the shows. He's very environmentally conscious. That's what I think. He gets on his bicycle and he goes from show to show. It's a big thing. Keeps his cardio up.
Sure.
Anyway, where is that Dynamite Thanksgiving? Or not Dynamite. The Rampage is in Pittsburgh. So yeah.
That's right. Because I thought about potentially, I'm going to cancel WrestleCade. And if Bryan Danielson's wrestling on that Collision, then I'm going to go to Pittsburgh and watch Bryan Danielson wrestle. Ha! Screw all you guys. Screw all you guys. People are like, oh, you're going to miss Bryan Danielson that weekend. No, I'm going to be in Pittsburgh to see Bryan Danielson that weekend.
So they're going to do a Dynamite on Thanksgiving, the 22nd, and then they're going to do a Collision and Rampage show on the Saturday. That's interesting. Are they airing Rampage on Saturday that week instead of Friday?
I mean, we can check the TNT schedule.
Yeah, I mean, for the 24th, 25th, it's just the 25th is when that Collision and Rampage double taping is. Maybe they're just going to do a live 3-hour block. Well, not 3-hour block, but yeah. Being asked if we think AEW sends a replacement, I would assume Tony's going to send a replacement. I jokingly said Eddie Kingston would be the person that they send.
Hey, look, if they send Eddie, then that's a definite reason to be there for me. So
yeah.
Okay, so Saturday the 25th. Rampage is at 7, Collision is at 8. So yeah, it seems like it's a live episode of Rampage at 7 o'clock.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I wonder, is there football or something on the Friday or something that they would typically?
It's Survivor Series that Saturday. I don't.
They're already gonna have trouble. So yeah, putting Bryan on that episode of Collision makes perfect sense to me.
I'm pretty sure there is football on Friday, by the way. I feel like I remember the NFL touting like Black Friday football nonsense. So
by the way, the Montreal shows go Tuesday and Wednesday. It's they're taping Collision on the Tuesday. Their Dynamite is live on the Wednesday with Rampage tapings as well. I don't know why they're taping Collision the day before or how they're going to put it together canonically, but I trust that they'll do their best. It's just a very strange way to tape out of order.
Yeah, they'll figure it all out. They'll pay it all out. We'll see how it goes.
I need this dork to tell us how we were wrong again about CM Punk and WWE.
Why do you acknowledge us?
Because I need to hear what these people think we are reporting or what they think we got wrong so that we can tell them live on the air in front of their faces why they are wrong and why they need to reconsider trying to call us out on stupid shit.
But how is this in front of their faces? For all we know, this person just popped in because they don't like Fightful and are like, "Oh, Fightful was wrong," and then they popped out, and that's
Great.
it. And they're
And they
never even
did, and
going to
I get
hear
to
this.
tell them they were wrong and they were stupid, like most
But they're
people
not
know
listening,
already.
and now we're just wasting time on this.
We don't
Don't.
know. We
We're
can
going
keep
to talk.
talking. We can keep talking. He's on our thumbnail about, him being a
Yeah, we're going
troll.
to talk about it, but just don't acknowledge this stuff, Joel. Stop.
Sometimes I want to acknowledge it because I want people
No.
to know that there are silly people in this world who think that they're getting their jollies
That's
off.
all they want is that acknowledgement, though. Knock it off.
They are not getting shit out of me. The acknowledgement they get is that they're being dumb. So CM Punk. Let's talk about this, and then we can roll into the McIntyre stuff, I guess, and all of Raw and all that stuff. Punk's playing both sides on his social media. Let's face it, he's going nowhere. Let's face it, he could go anywhere. Let's face it, but as of right now, he ain't going nowhere. Who's the devil?
What is this? Let's face it. Are you trying to like get this catchphase over? Is
No,
that like
that's
the acclaimed? The acclaimed, where they're like, that's they try to get that over. It didn't really work. But like
GFY.
Yeah, that definitely didn't work. Are you trying to get let's face it over? I'm not mad at your attempt there. CM Punk, let's face it. Going to WWE, let's face it. Going to AEW, let's face it. What?
Why does everything become a rap gimmick, like a call and response hype man thing?
That's what you were doing. That's exactly what was happening.
Listen, let's face it, ITW is awesome. That's right. We're gonna start our own wrestling league out of this. We'll call it ITW. They'll be like, what does that stand for? International something wrestling? No, it stands for In the Weeds. What about the wrestling? Who said it was about wrestling? We're a weed whacking professional company.
We should have a shirt with Joel Pearl's face on it, and on the back it just says let's face it.
Listen, if someone's gonna buy that, we'll put it on a shirt. I am like 90. If this viewing audience commits to spending at least like $20 on buying a t-shirt like that, we'd make it comfortable, we'd make it good, then we could do it. I'm sure we could levy it, but you got to pay for it. It's got to be paid for. I agree. No one wants, let's face it, no one wants that shirt.
Let's try to get let's face it over, Joel. Go for it. I'm with you in this attempt here.
But what do we do? What about let's heal it? Like, what do we? When do we bring that into play?
Stop it. Well, never. What? We're John Cena. We're never gonna do the heel turn. Remember, I thought about this the other day. Remember when John Cena came out and he's like gonna do a heel turn, and he turned his heel. He just so John Cena comes out. Hold up. I gotta set this all up. All right. John Cena comes out. Can everybody? I'll put my foot on the chair here.
Yeah, don't stand on that chair. That's precarious.
He's just like gonna do a heel turn. Everybody, a heel turn. Showing feet. Look at that. Free feet showings for everyone here.
And the In the Weeds t-shirt that was gifted to you.
Shout out to the GOAT. The GOAT sent me this t-shirt, the In the Weeds t-shirt. Dude, that popped me so much when John Cena just comes out. It's like, might do a little heel turn tonight. And he turns his heel. What a man, John Cena. Never be caught in the next man's sweater. Yeah, what are we talking about?
This is very important. I have a shirt with Jeremy's, I guess that's name on it. Why not Joel? Oh, no, it's your face.
That's my face.
That's right. Yeah, that's a cartoon version of your face.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is a cartoon version of my face. Yeah, that was something.
Talking about facing that Punk is just trying to get everyone's attention and play both sides to create something out of nothing.
Yeah, he's trolling. Like that's what it is. He's showing, look at me working out to War Pigs, which is the theme of Survivor Series.
Which he took the Faith No More version. He couldn't even play the Sabbath version that WWE put up.
Linking back to devil stuff, posting the picture of him as the devil from the Hell in a Cell poster. Like he is, that's what he's doing. He's trolling. He's building up his own interest, which he should be doing. I don't begrudge the man for it, but I trust the reporting of one Sean Ross Sapp and every credible reporter out there saying that there's been nothing with Punk. And I don't think he's going back to AEW. Look, if AEW has turned this whole thing and it's all work that they fired Punk just to bring him back to be the devil, honestly, I'll give him all the kudos in the world for it. I don't know if it's smart. I don't know if that's what you want to do with things, but power to them for going to that length to pull off this storyline. And if WWE does end up getting him, it's obviously not a storyline that he got fired from AEW, but if WWE ends up getting him, which I do think is a possibility, not at Survivor Series, but heading into WrestleMania, I think there might be a possibility there. Then cool, he gets people talking. Well, I'm for it, but right now he's just trolling, and that's it. Good on him. He should.
Yeah. Rush's Geddy Lee. There was a period where we were doing a lot of cocaine just to keep the energy up. There you go, Rush. Rush, the band that you all thought was so wholesome, did a lot of cocaine just to keep the energy up. He's got a big nose, Geddy Lee. That's a lot of cocaine. Oh, Louis also sent a super chat saying feet. Yeah, that's basically how interested I am in the Punk stuff, but we bring it up just because it continues to be people being like, oh, he's going to AEW because of the devil thing. Oh, no, he's going to WWE. Like, he's splitting his own fan base, which I find very funny, while keeping up the tribalism and thinking it's funny. And I'm just sitting here being like, can we just stop? Can we stop fanning the weirdest of like non-existent fires that you're creating? It doesn't need to exist like this. But anyway, it's very strange. I don't like it. I'm over him. And if he shows up at TNA, I'll probably be very not interested in that either. I've already joked. I've been like, well, I'm going to stop doing the post shows if that happens. But if he shows up, then I guess that's going to bring eyes to the product. Good eyes, I don't know, but eyes nonetheless.
I mean, the show will be more interesting. Punk makes things interesting. Like,
how?
Because you don't know what he's going to do. There's some chaotic, like, there's being with Punk. Like, there's just a chaos factor. Could be good, could be bad, but there is a chaos factor with CM Punk.
But like that really only started with the pipe bomb. Like it really started in, what was that, 2012? And then before that, like, he wasn't really that chaotic. He was a good wrestler who had a good character, and like it was fun to watch him. But then it was like everything happened in WWE and he left. Then it was everything external. Nothing on the show made it interesting.
What are you talking about?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, first off, you're like, oh, it really started a decade ago. Like before that, he wasn't. Yeah, but the last decade,
a 7-year period of time where what, he went to MMA and became a failed MMA guy. Like, I'm just trying to put this in perspective.
He was chaotic in ROH. Like the stuff he was doing in ROH, there was some chaos to that, and also he was a really good wrestler in ROH.
Of course, the wrestler, I can't deny that he's a good wrestler, but like everything he's become synonymous for in the last 10 years has not been on screen.
Joel, you cannot tell me this. You can't tell me that there's been no chaos with CM Punk on screen in AEW.
Okay,
when he came out,
stuff with Hangman and that was a thing.
But I'm not saying this is good or bad. It never led to anything, which was my gripe as a fan. But you can't tell me that it wasn't chaotic.
Okay,
it was complete chaos.
So what I'm saying is, if you go to a place like TNA where things are seemingly quite controlled and quite level-headed, a guy like Punk just doesn't make it a more fun watch or a more enjoyable watch. It just makes it a shit. When are the wheels gonna come off? When's he gonna get angry and say something or
that rules?
That doesn't rule because it doesn't go anywhere. And then it just becomes like you derail your programming and you just burn people out on like, why are you bringing this guy in? Because it's the same shit every time. Doesn't work for me.
I need him to come out in Impact, be like, we're bringing back the 6-sided ring, just shooting on the 6-sided ring, just create the chaos. I understand it. I said it on this show when he came out. Fair. I said it on this show when he came out on Collision and was like, I'm the only real draw in a world of counterfeit bucks, and he did the real world title thing, and I was like, where is this all leading? And it seemed like it was leading nowhere, and it ended up leading nowhere because he got himself fired and stuff. It led nowhere.
Yeah, it led to his dismissal.
Yeah, but you can't tell me this stuff wasn't chaotic. Like, there is something about CM Punk. You don't have to like it. I fully, if you don't like it, that's completely fine. I don't always like it because I like stuff to actually lead somewhere if you're going to do this stuff. But there was certainly something, if he comes out and is like, what is this man doing? And people are interested in that. Good or bad, people are interested in some of that. If you go in with, let's say he signs with Impact. I don't think he's signing with Impact, by the way. Let's say he signs with Impact and your mindset is, all right, when's this just going to all blow up? You're just waiting for something bad to happen. Your preconceived notion got the better of you, Joel. Be an optimist when it comes to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm optimistic that he doesn't show up.
Yeah, I don't think he's showing up either. It's WWE or bust for CM Punk. I can't see him going to like TNA/Impact unless the AEW stuff is a work, which I don't think it is. I think people are being very stupid about that.
I think I'll bring this up with Jeff. Like, the chaos is not great when you like AEW and wanted to do well. And there are a lot of people that, for all the Ric Flair segments and all of the, the comedy stuff that isn't doing it, I'm not going to place the blame solely on CM Punk, but like there was a lot of just time and attention that got taken away from what people enjoyed about AEW and from AEW as a whole, dealing with CM Punk, that kind of led to a sharp decline in interest in the product and just quality into it. And that's what sucks, is because for a while, guys like me were really enjoying AEW. There were certain things and certain stories, and yourself too, Jeremy, I know we talked about it, that like we were really enjoying it and we were excited to talk about it on a week-to-week basis, that became less than. And then we spent a good amount of time being like, what are we doing? Like, what is this shit? And now like people are getting excited that things seemingly are starting to get a little bit better as time goes on, and as they readjust. It's only been a week. We don't know what the next, what happens after Full Gear. Regardless, it's like, okay, there's something here. This could be good.
Who else is here?
Oh my God. I had stopped talking about it because I didn't know where we were going, and it's happening. Do you want to, let's get this is your intro, buddy. This is yours.
It's Bruce Hart, apparently. Bruce Hart is here with us.
It is. It's me.
Oh, bless you, Bruce, for having that professionalism to turn the camera. Thank
Bruce
God.
Hart is here. Oh shit. I'm trying to use this napkin holder as a camera stand.
Are you in Vegas?
No, I'm in my house.
I was going to say that'd be a really nice last night.
Okay, as we were wondering, like Joey's in Vegas. I don't know if he's going to be here this morning.
No, I was in Vegas for 3 days. I got back last night. Got home, fell right asleep. Woke up at 6 a.m. Stayed up till 9, and then nap for 2 more hours, and now I'm here.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. I was going to go and ask about the Andrade match that was announced yesterday. So I got 2 questions off of that. One is, Brett Lauderdale told the story that Andrade was supposed to be at Spring Break 2021,
yes,
and then he signed with AEW. Were you 2021?
No, I believe I wasn't going to face him then. I'm trying to think who was actually going to wrestle Andrade. I didn't know if we had a game plan at that time, but he was definitely supposed to be booked. I don't know against who, or he was supposed to do something, maybe just, I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he was supposed to just do a run-in or something to set something else up. But I have no idea. But he was definitely supposed to be booked. It was definitely talked about.
And then you facing him now in this match. What are your thoughts about facing Andrade El Idolo in GCW in his debut?
I mean, yeah, it's a very polarizing match right now on social media. Some people love it. Some people are like, "What the fuck?" Since says dream match on the graphic, it is a dream match for GCW fans for sure. Those exist. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome, especially in that building in LA. I wrestled Kota Ibushi there. That's the building where I wrestled Drew Parker. I lit my shoe on fire and kicked him in the face, and that caused a stir. I've had a lot of memories in that building. But yeah, for sure. Sucks. Last time we were in LA, I was supposed to wrestle Santana Jackson and get to wrestle because the night before I went out partying, drinking, went on a bender. It was like maybe like a 16-hour drinking bender after we got back from Japan. And I had this bad cut on my arm, and I never got it stitched up. It was huge after I wrestled Kasai. And I woke up in some girl's bed, about to go to the show, and blood was squirting out of me like a faucet. And I ruined her bed. I ruined her floor. She won't talk to me anymore. I said, Brett, I can't come wrestle here tonight. I got to go to the hospital. I got to try to take care of this. So I have to make up for lost times with the LA crowd. And the match with Andrade is going to be really good, I think.
Did you offer to pay any of the cleanup for the
Fuck
blood?
that.
All right.
You know you're with. You know you invited over?
Yeah.
That's fair.
You invited me over. And you see me, I was taped up like the fucking mummy.
I do want to ask about the Kota Ibushi match. I talked to you just before the match got officially announced. Ibushi had been announced, but the match hadn't been announced. And I will say this, and a lot of stuff gets lost during WrestleMania week because it's WrestleMania week and there's a million shows going on. And then the year passes. One, that's Kota Ibushi's best performance of the year. And two, it's one of my favorite matches of the year. And I hope it doesn't get lost at the end of the year voting and stuff. But like, that was a match. Ibushi had been off for a while. He did the match with Speedball, but then he did the match with you, and you guys nearly died in that match. There's the one spot with the table and everything. But like, that match, looking back on that match, how do you feel about it?
I felt it went awesome. It went awesome besides me needing like 12 staples afterwards. That's been the story of my life all year. I'm like all scarred up now. But no, I feel like anything with my name on it gets lost anyway. I don't know why that is. I guess it's because the hate for me on the internet. But a lot of people forget how good of a year I'm having. Having some of the best indie matches in the world. I'm wrestling heavier schedule than any professional wrestler in the world. That's including WWE, AEW, or I'm traveling maybe 3-4 times a week. So I think it's just my name. I don't know. There was a storyline a couple years ago. Is giving my roses now while I'm alive, but I don't think it will happen. I don't mind anymore. I'm used to it, but the match with Kota Ibushi was one of my top matches of the year, and it's nice for you guys to say it's one of his top matches of the year. So I don't know what he's done in AEW. I haven't seen any of that. So yeah, it was a very cool moment to do that match.
Yeah, AEW stuff has been little hit and miss, and again, Mania weekend, I thought that was one of the best matches of the weekend, even though it took place at like 3 a.m.
No, it was pretty. Oh no, 3 a.m. for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it wasn't a late spring break, was it? No.
East Coast, it was late.
Well, I was in the hospital that night till like 6 a.m. It's pretty shit. It was a pretty shit because I was like, a bunch of people were like, yeah, let's go party afterwards. Yeah, this is gonna be. We're in Hollywood. I know a bunch of spots. Yeah, I ended up sitting in the hospital instead. But it was good. Good. Kota Ibushi, thank you. Yeah. He really came in there and was like, all right, let's go. But I don't know. He might be fucked up. He might be injured at the moment, so I don't know. So
Jeremy kind of touched on the collective and just like wrestling and WrestleMania weekend and all that. And he and I got into a conversation about the collective itself and like the fan burnout that can kind of come with that. I want your opinion on it, because you wrestle a lot, as you talked about, and like you as a wrestler, how do you deal with burnout? And then we can get into like conversation about the collective itself and how it kind of affects a big weekend like that when everyone's in town for a big show.
I'm burnt out every week. I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
very.
how do you handle it?
Alcoholism. I'm just kidding. I don't make contract money anymore, so I gotta fight to survive out there, brother. Gotta if I take a weekend off, take 2 weekends off, take 3 weekends off, how am I gonna pay my bills? So that's how I look at it. And you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta get massages. You gotta go see the chiropractor. You gotta do. I don't really believe in the other stuff. A lot of guys are looking at some alternative treatments for their crippled bodies, but be just like take a little care of yourself. And sometimes for me, like last year, I thought I was in tremendous shape. I was in the best shape of my life. This year, my matches have been better. I've been better in the ring, but my body, I'm looking a little not so good these days because when you get off the road after 4 shows, hitting the gym and stuff, it's hard, man. Especially if you work doing 30-minute matches every weekend. It's like so. But yeah, there's some guys that they can't handle that. I have to. It's my only option. I have no other options.
When it comes to WrestleMania weekend, the other thing we kind of brought up is WWE runs a show basically every single night, and GCW has the collective stuff. IWTV does a bunch of stuff. When WWE tries to schedule stuff, are you like they shouldn't do that? With this is time for independent wrestling, or are you of the mind of where this is a weekend that is kind of WWE weekend? We're here because they're here.
Piggybacking off them. Let them.
Yeah.
They can do whatever the fuck they want. We're piggybacking off them. We're stealing fans that they could, have at their events. Whatever I don't know what the situation is, but yeah, it's their fucking weekend. We're piggybacking, so it is what it is.
Yeah, there are a lot of fans that are just like WWE shouldn't run when these indie shows are running. So
those fans have CT. I don't know what to say. It's their weekend. It's WrestleMania weekend. It's not Indie Mania weekend. We're
I do want to ask
off them. They can do whatever they want.
I do want to ask about Santana Jackson, who has become polarizing. You mentioned
this is so OCD. I need to.
No, I do this all the time. That's why I put this. That's why this hoodie's behind me because I'm like I don't want to be fiddling with my thing either.
You got one that's frayed. You don't have the little plastic band on it, and then the other one it does.
One I chew on.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say one always comes off in like the laundry one night.
Yeah.
I don't ask about Santana Jackson because you mentioned polarizing stuff online. Santana Jackson has become polarizing. Personally, I think it's hilarious. And I think the whole thing is very fun and it's wrestling. I think there's a place for it. I assume you're of the same mind, but what are your thoughts on Santana Jackson and his place kind of in wrestling?
I see a lot of positive about it actually lately, because he's low key very good. And I was with him in Vegas. He actually I met up with him last night, and he is not last night, 2 nights ago. He's very smart and he knows what he's doing, and he was shooting ideas at me, and I shot ideas at him months ago, or told him to do this and change this and do that, and he's been doing that. And that match with Mike Bailey was awesome, and big fan. Ever since I wrestled him last year in Vegas, I was a big fan. So, and yeah, he has a heavy schedule coming up at GCW. He's doing Seattle this weekend, and then he's doing WrestleCade and some other stuff too. So I look forward to seeing his progress and seeing the directions he takes his character and the new stuff he comes up with, because you can't do the same shtick every match. Fans will burn out on you, and I think he's someone that's not going to happen. So
You're talking about Vegas. Last time you and I spoke, we talked about your food planning, and how you like to spend upwards of 90 minutes just kind of looking around Google trying to find the right place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So are you still like that? And what did you eat while you were in Vegas after the night?
I have my set restaurants in Vegas.
Okay.
This time I was only there for 3 days. Well, I shouldn't be there longer than 3 days, or else I'd be dead somewhere in an alleyway. But I have a few places I go there. There's the Oyster Bar in Palace Station that's open 24/7. You should have to wait in the line for 45 minutes to get on a seat in there. I'm usually by myself, though. You have that, and then Herbs and Rye I went to the other night, and that's a good one. And there's a Mexican restaurant next to the which strip club is that I go to sometimes? I forgot which one, but it's connected to the strip club. I didn't go to the strip club, that strip club. I just went to the Mexican restaurant because it's 24/7. But Disco Inferno actually works at that strip club, but he wasn't there. I asked. I said, "Where's Glad at?"
You got to say Disco. You got to say Disco because they only know him as Disco.
No, they say Disco Glad. I say that I hit up a girl I know. I was like, "Is he here? Is he working?" They said he works days now or some shit.
Wow.
So I was gonna ask him to eat some fajitas with me. I'm one of the people. I don't have a problem with Disco Inferno. He's always been nice to me. So, believe it or not, Disco Inferno is a Joey Janela fan. So,
wow,
mark that as a win.
That is very hard to believe. Have you listened to his podcast? Have you listened to his and Conan's podcast?
I do the podcast once a year. I've done their podcast once a year for the last 6 years. Believe it or not, they had me on probably once a year. Usually around spring break time.
That would do it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Jeremy, do you want to ask about karaoke? Because I know you were just chomping at the bit.
Oh, I do have that question, but I have another important question first. Have you finished watching 12 Rounds with John Moxley? Did you ever finish that movie?
Did I ever start that movie?
Well, you once told a story of you were hanging out with Tony Khan and you went back.
Shit. That did happen. No, I never finished that movie. We were shot out that night. I was sitting on Tony Khan's couch in this place in LA. I think we consumed probably 3 bottles of tequila at that point.
Yes, and he put 12 rounds on, and then Tony got up and left the room, and you left the house. And I guess you never finished.
Didn't get out of there. Yeah, those were the days. Those are the days. I have so many AEW stories. You just got to remind me of the time and place.
Well, I
cooked half the time.
I do want to ask if you have any Sting stories now that his retirement is coming on. Your time there overlapped a little bit.
I was telling someone yesterday, I was like, my biggest regret with leaving AEW was not working with Sting. Because I did the match with Darby during COVID era, and for some reason Sting wasn't out there for that one. Just wanted one picture with Sting, like him pointing a bat at me or something. That's all I wanted. You made it, kid. Got a picture, you in a ring with Sting with a baseball bat pointing at your face. Not really sorry. He's a nice guy though. And he actually cares about being there. You could tell by the way he wrestles on TV or how much he gives some of these guys that he wrestles. He's wrestled some obscure guys. I seen him wrestle Bill Carr. So I seen a clip of him wrestling Bill Carr this past week or something.
He's wrestling the Outrunners.
What is going on? What is going on over there? Bill Carr fucking rules, and now he's wrestling Sting. It's what is going on there?
There's a place you've been wrestling lately. That's Mystery Wrestling. You've shown up once so far, and I think you'll be there again. That's Uno's promotion. That's his big thing on Twitch. Talk to me about working with Mystery Wrestling because it's near and dear to my heart. It's close to my hometown of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. This is over in Gatineau. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was a mystery show. I showed up and they were I was all right, I think they had us like first or something. And Su Young had all these props, and she had this ghost face costume. She requested a whole list of things, and they got it for her. There were some things that just made no fucking sense that she got. I don't know how she came up with that stuff. She's like, I don't know why I told him to get me this. I said, I don't know either. It's just whatever. So I said, what if I tape my hands up like CM Punk and throw the X's up on them and come out in a ghost face costume and do a whole CM Punk bit? And man, it fucking worked, dude. But Uno was like, he was a little like, he's still contracted, you don't want to piss someone off, But it's Joey Janela. If you have Joey Janela on your show, sorry, you get what you pay for. That's what I say. They know me by now. AEW knows me by now, brother. Believe it or not. There for a few years.
Are you insinuating that you are the devil and you're under the devil mask?
It could be. It could be. That'd be a huge fucking letdown for those fans. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
It could be me.
It could be. We'd take a victory lap for calling it out. We got him.
Yeah. I don't know. Take your bets now. I could be. I've seen it on the internet. I see a few people indicate that when vanity searching my name. But yeah, I don't know. But there is people have asked me to come back to certain places on TV and stuff, and just having fun doing the indies. When WWE hit me up, I said, listen, the only way I'm coming in is if I wrestle The Rock at WrestleMania.
Stop.
I said, yo. They said, we got this plan for you. We want you to wrestle with The Miz. I said, The Miz is cool and all, but I have to wrestle The Rock. No Rock, no go. They said, Rock's filming a movie. I said, too damn bad. You don't get Joey Janela. I pitched an angle to them, the WWE actually, to be like a deranged, the debut me as a deranged paparazzi. Like The Rock is walking out of steakhouse in LA and you see a couple snapshots, almost like the DDP Undertaker storyline. See a couple snapshots and then eventually the paparazzi jumps The Rock and it's a big whodunit. And then it's me. Then we wrestle at WrestleMania Hollywood.
What was this reveal? Like, how are we going to know it was you?
What?
I
reveal. The cops actually revealed it in the mugshot. They said, we have the mugshot of the paparazzi. And it's me. Disgraced AEW wrestler, Joey Janela. And I had to go over The Rock, too. Yeah.
Okay, so this was pitched. WrestleMania Hollywood was this year.
Yeah, it was pitched. It was like quite a battle.
When did they contact you to wrestle The Miz? Was that earlier this year, late last year?
Let me check my battery real quick. Hold on 1 second. I still got a good 8% left. The Miz, yeah. They wanted me to wrestle The Miz in Hollywood. And I said no, Rock or nothing. What I said I need to come in rock hard. If you don't accept it.
Goddamn.
A few people hit me up. People want me to come back. People want me to go to friends over there. People want me to go to NWA. But I said, no way. I said, I only do my cocaine behind closed doors, guys.
Would you partake in the drinking of the Jack Daniels though? Are you a Jack guy?
Yeah, I like Jack Daniels. I'll drink it. I'll partake in all of it, but not on pay-per-view, brother. That's extra money.
I was gonna say, I got to pay him for that fee.
One thing you did partake in that was not on pay-per-view, but was on video, your karaoke at Hulk Hogan's bar, the Florida Man, which may or may not be you. But the karaoke that you did, what went into this idea? And then also I need to know what Joey Janela sings when he goes out as Joey Janela for karaoke.
I had this plan for like a year and a half. And I was just like, but I had like a bunch of like, I was like, there has to be a Dr. Fauci cutout, and I have to bring it with me on stage, and then I have to get a hoaxer. I got to lure him in to punch down the Fauci cutout with me, and then we beat up the Fauci cutout. And I had this whole plan to lure him in to do it. And I was gonna sing a song by TLC, No Scrubs, but it was gonna be No, I don't want the vaccine. The vaccine is poisonous to me. Something, fuck Dr. Fauci. And then everyone would chant it with me. But we kind of jumped the gun on that. So then we were in Orlando for GCW, and there was like a bunch of people were going to fucking karaoke. And I was like, yo, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. And that was more nerve-wracking than if I had to wrestle Rock at Mania. It was pretty nerve-wracking. But we did it. And my go-to is TNT by AC/DC.
Okay.
Yeah, I tear it up every time I get them wet, if you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, they get wet, baby.
Oh my god.
Like a slip and slide.
Stop it. Oh god. Do we have time for one more before I let you go?
Yeah.
All right, here's the big one. I do something called partner puncher promo. So it's either I'm going to give you 3 names. You're going to pick who you would partner up with in a match, who you'd punch in the face, so go one-on-one with, and who you'd have a promo battle with. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Steve Macklin, the Kiss Demon Dale Torberg, or Cheeseburger?
Oh, fuck.
These are all
There's
jerseys.
one to tag with?
So one you'd tag with, one you'd go one-on-one with, and one you'd do a promo with, or promo battle with.
Team with Cheeseburger, because he's a nice gentleman. Steve Macklin, I met a couple of times in the Monster Factory days. Probably punch him in the face.
Thank God.
I don't really know much about him these days. Besides he's in TNA or something, right?
Yeah.
PTO or something.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. And Kiss Demon, I'd promo battle him because I can't see his skills being too good. I remember him cutting a few promos at WCW. They weren't too hot, so.
Well, when you have Gene Simmons writing your promos, you can only go so far.
Yeah, so, fuck his ass. Cheeseburger rules. I actually talked to Cheeseburger the other day. I'm actually going to go to a SCIDA seminar in his school. And I asked him if I could come in for free. He was like, hell yeah, you don't have to pay, brother. I said, brother, I'm still learning. 18 years in the business, I'm still learning, boys.
Everybody's still learning. I'm
still trying to wrestle The Rock at Mania, though. But now it doesn't make sense. So if they hit me up this year, I'm going to say I want to wrestle it's a good Philly name to wrestle.
Why don't you just go over Roman?
No. That's a big name. You got to start from the bottom up,
What about celebrity against Jason Kelsey?
Little Uzi Vert.
Oh, okay. Joel Embiid, he's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, Little Uzi Vert. It's going to be me and Little Uzi Vert. I thought he was supposed to wrestle this year, Mania.
Lil Uzi Vert?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, I thought I do remember reading something they wanted him for that show.
But then I talked to Drew Gulak. I said, is Little Uzi Vert wrestling this year, Mania? And he's like, I don't know anything about that. He's the one that trains these celebrities for these battles.
Didn't he show up at WrestleMania?
He showed up. There was talks of him.
Yeah, he was. He sung a song.
Yeah, he did a whole thing with him and Dom Mysterio were best friends or something.
Yeah, we were watching it. We were fucked up. We had an Airbnb in Hollywood, and we were watching it. And a bunch of us were watching the house. And I said, "What the fuck does this song have to do with the Usos?" It's like, I want to that fucking song, like you just ate a hot chicken wing.
WWE has a video up. Lil Uzi Vert versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania 40. So there you go.
That's what I've probably seen.
Yeah. He does the Nakamura theme as well. He did the remix on that.
His album. Yeah. I like his style. His music's kind of whack, but I do like that song. I just want song's kind of dope. But I was like, what the fuck set did the Usos?
Joey, let everybody know where to find you. You got GCW this weekend in Seattle. You're facing Speedball Mike Bailey. I know you're at WrestleCade
And
next
I'm
weekend.
Defied this weekend too. I'm wrestling Kenta for the belts.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Go get it.
I got a fucking weekend. Gotta take it easy.
Hey, well, you got Mance Warner next weekend. Like that's easy.
I got 3 matches next weekend too, and 3 signings.
I know you're at WrestleCade. I've only seen the Mance match announced. I'll be at WrestleCade as well.
WrestleCade, Tajiri.
Okay.
And I'm wrestling George South on Sunday in their blow-off hardcore match.
I love
Whatever.
it.
It's gonna be brutal.
Looking forward to all of that. I'll be at WrestleCade next weekend, so I'll see you there. You and George South? That's gonna be a lot of fun.
I know, but there's no time for me to, live.
We can live it up tonight. Do some laundry maybe.
I have to do laundry actually. Got to see this girl now. She's gonna come later. Do my laundry. She's not
there
it is. I'm gonna do it now, and then she'll just be nice body massage, get me ready for these matches this weekend.
Joey, plug anything you would like to plug.
You basically just fucking plugged everything. You said where I was gonna be the next 2 weekends. My Twitter is shadow banned, so if you want to type in my Twitter, type in Janela baby, and then press the app below, and it'll come up. It's like I'm in like the category with all the porn people now for some reason.
That makes sense.
On fucking Twitter like Matt Riddle. I don't know why he's not shadow banned.
I went looking for you to tag you on, that you're live.
Matt Riddle's dick on Twitter.
Don't need that. Do not need that. I went to try and tag you earlier. I was like, I know your handle. Why isn't it showing up? And it's dumb.
Yeah, it's because I must have said fuck too many times.
Damn.
I never got caught jerk on Twitter. There's no jerk videos of me on there, so
I gotta pay for them.
Not on Twitter. Maybe look elsewhere on the internet.
No, there's no jerk videos of me.
Okay. I just want to clarify that.
I'm surprised. I've sent quite a few.
Put it in the notes.
I wanted to leak my own news. And then they hit me up. Cody and them hit me up back in the day. They were like, "Are you really gonna leak your own nudes? I want to do that."
No.
Like, hey, my nudes leak. It's not me. I just want to show everyone my hog.
You get on OnlyFans. You and Matt Brannigan can go in on the OnlyFans here.
I'm not doing OnlyFans. I give that shit out for free.
God bless.
I'm like 90s Costco, baby. All right, guys.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you.
Care. Thanks again.
Bruce Hart, Joey Janela, whatever you want to call him.
Make of it what you will. Oh God, I don't even know what just happened. That was.
If you placed the $100 bet, you just won $300 because Joey showed up.
Well, was it or was it Bruce Hart?
Or was it Bruce Hart?
Jeremy, what just happened?
I don't know.
Oh God! If you haven't left a thumbs up on this video, I don't know what's wrong with you. That was great.
No idea. I can't wait to tell Kyler to cut this, and I try to come up with a friggin' headline and description for this. Joey Janela pitched wrestling The Rock at WrestleMania.
That's it. He knows. And like, here's the thing. Go back. So I rewatched my conversation with Joey back after the GCW show in Toronto. We had a very different but eerily similar conversation. He was like all over the place at the GCW show. He wasn't as tired and run down as he was this morning. Because like clearly he probably took the red eye in, which like I get it. That messes you up real bad. And he had plenty to say here. He did in my interview with him too, but like, oh God. Our interview starts off with him making the Ayagawa face, which if you know what that means, you know you're in for a treat in a conversation with him.
Yeah. I've interviewed Joey twice, both times where one was in person at Full Gear 2019. And I was not a very comfortable like interview person. So like that's probably, there's no video of it. It was probably awkward just on me because I just wasn't comfortable as doing interviews at that time. And then one was actually it was earlier this year, it was before the Jersey J Cup. I mentioned it on this interview where Ibushi was announced, but it wasn't said he was wrestling Janela yet. But if you go back and you watch that interview, you can tell Joey's about wrestling Ibushi. They just hadn't announced it. They announced Ibushi, hadn't announced the match, but Joey hinted enough that he was wrestling Ibushi on that show. But he's always just a treat to interview. Absolute character, like belongs in the world of professional wrestling. Bruce Hart.
Miz. The Miz.
I don't know how truthful.
I don't think it is, but now I'm thinking
but it's
about
hilarious to think about. I'm thinking of like, fuck, they had Shane McMahon come out. They did McAfee. What if Janela was the plan? And like Joey was like, no, I want The Rock. And now, shit, let's call Pat. Let's call Shane. What can we do?
Jeremy, imagine the universe, the timeline shift that would have happened if not only Joey Janela works WrestleMania, works The Miz, but also he would have saved Shane's quads. Joey Janela could have saved us from the quad incidents. We wouldn't have had, Snoop and all that, but like
that ruled.
That did rule. That was making chicken salad out of chicken, you know what? But man, Joey Janela could have saved Shane McMahon's quads. We were so close.
Oh, bless Joey Janela. He's fantastic. I don't know how we do the rest of this show. I have no idea.
I don't even know. Like, we didn't even get to ask him about the match with Toru Yano, like, properly.
Oh, I know. Yeah. We didn't get to ask about that. It's just there's so much you can talk about with Joey. I wanted to talk about the Jun Kasai match. In Japan, the death match with Jun Kasai, and Joey has lived the life of many people.
Can I tell you my like first introduction to Joey outside of the ring was like, it was an interview that he did. I think it was 2019, just around before or just shortly after he was with AEW, or maybe it was whenever it was. He had broken his leg. Okay. And I don't know if people remember when Joey broke his leg. This was so many years ago now. And he was talking about living in his mom's basement and like all of the stuff that he would have to do like as a wrestler to get by, and how he was, he was just working. And I was like, I like this guy. Like I got a big respect for this dude. And now so many years later to see what he's done, who he is, and just the shit he gets to say in the name of professional wrestling. God bless this guy.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Drew McIntyre.
Rock and Janela for control of the XFL.
Drew McIntyre, Joel. What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, the Drew McIntyre stuff was pretty good on Raw on Monday. I enjoyed it. We've discovered Drew McIntyre. I wouldn't even call it a heel turn. I think this harkens back to something that, Jeremy, you've brought up multiple times, and that is it's okay to have people that you don't like or you dislike, that you want to beat up, that people don't agree that you should beat up, but you have a personal problem with them. That doesn't make you a heel. That just makes you human. I think that's kind of what we've got here. Drew he's done being the nice dude. He shook Seth Rollins' hand, and then he's like, oh, I don't like Jey Uso. He screwed me out of my title. Seth Rollins didn't screw me. He gave me a good match. Jey Uso, on the other hand, screwed me out of a title shot at Clash at the Castle and all throughout, his title opportunities. I like that that's how Drew decided to do the thing that led him to working with Judgment Day. He doesn't seem to have joined the Judgment Day. I think he just wants to be the guy who wins at WarGames so that he can say, I want another shot at that title. That's me clawing my way back up. I like how it played out.
Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it as well. I think that's why he hit Jay and not Cody. And I think that it's a temporary alliance, that it's, hey, this is a way I can get into what I want. And I want to get my hands on Jey Uso for years of him screwing me over as a member of the bloodline. I still want to go after the title. Seth is on the other team. All right, this is my way I can get to him. I can, try to maybe take Cody's spot here because everybody's anointing Cody. So I can go after him. Same thing with Sami Zayn. Oh, and the Judgment Day is just his way to get into all of that. And now, I'm sure you saw the little after show of Cody saying, "We got friends as well, brother." And everybody is suspecting, and probably rightfully so, that old Randall will be back on Monday. And Randy coming back to be part of the WarGames team with the baby faces.
Pointed it out on Twitter. I think it's pretty interesting, and we made jokes about where Raw was going to be when Randy comes back. They're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Jeremy, something that we didn't realize at the time, that was where Randy had his last match. That's where Randy and Riddle dropped the undisputed tag team championships to the Usos. And if that's where Randy's coming back, there's history there. And I like that. It's more of a happy accident than anything else, but it's a good happy accident to have. There's more story that you can involve with that, and just little extra layer with regards to Randy. If he is the guy who's going to join the Team Cody, you know how we talked about the whole like turning on everyone in the match, yada yada yada. I'm starting to rethink that. I'm starting to think that the Randy turn is maybe going to happen around the Rumble, and that maybe they're going to let Randy just be a babyface. And I know babyface Randy isn't super duper popular with people, but I think they want to give crowds the one loop around the country, an opportunity for them to cheer Randy because he's back and he's made it. And everything he's overcome. I'm sure they'll talk about his bacchiotomy and all that shit. And then Randy will eventually turn and go after either the World Heavyweight Championship or possibly the Intercontinental Championship. Go after Gunther. What do you think?
Gunther and Randy would be awesome for many reasons. Randy shouldn't be the guy to beat him, but it's a fun little matchup that I never really thought about until just now. I don't think the turn is going to come at Survivor Series. I was a little hesitant on that earlier this week because if you do this, and I think that this is where Priest has to cash in, which would make sense if that's going to happen. Priest cashing in if the turn comes, but then it becomes a thing of like, is Drew also turning? Because I don't think Drew is like fully aligned with Judgment Day, so it just feels like there's almost too much happening with that. So I don't know if you need to do the turn there. I think you can stretch it a little bit. I do think there should be, much like Drew was hesitant with the Jay stuff, I think Randy should be hesitant with Jay as well, of like, you kind of took me out. Like the last time I was around, we lost. You were there. You took me out of things. Like I do think there should be some hesitancy with Randy, Cody, Peacemaker Cody, much like he did with Sammy and Kevin. He's got a kumbaya, everybody together. I think if there is a Randy quote unquote turn, it is on Jay. But you got to wrap that up quickly because we know where they're going for Mania with Jay. He's facing Jimmy. That's the Mania match. Everyone knows it. They said it at Money in the Bank when they were teaming. They said we want a Mania match against each other. Now it all makes sense here. So yeah, they got to wrap whatever they're doing with Jay has to basically wrap by Rumble, because I imagine Rumble is when we start really kicking into Jimmy going into WrestleMania.
I mean, unless one of them costs the other in a Elimination Chamber match,
which can happen, and that's not to say that can't happen, but then you're throwing everybody into the Elimination Chamber. I guess the Raw side could be Elimination Chamber match because you are very not liking Cody winning Rumble back-to-back years. I know you're very against this idea.
I wouldn't say that I'm like, I would say I'm against it. I would say that I don't think that it's the best way to continue the Cody story. I know people have been like, oh, he's going to enter number one. To me, it's a little heavy-handed. And I get that that's kind of what wrestling does sometimes. To me, him winning at the Elimination Chamber, doing the big old pyro in the big stadium, everyone, excited for him. That's a big moment to watch. I know that the eyes are a little bit different because the show is going to be on at like 5 a.m. where we are. But
Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, it starts.
Oh, that's right. It's in Australia. I forgot.
Yeah, they're in Australia, so it's going to be a huge, it's going to be a huge event, especially because attendance-wise, they're going to have almost as many, if not more, than will be at WrestleMania on one night. So with all of that in mind, I see a Cody Elimination Chamber victory being a big deal. If he enters number one in that chamber, that's also grueling. You're dealing with the pods and the steel grates and yada yada. That's me doing air quotes for the audio friends. He's dealing with a lot similar to what he deals with if he's going number one in the Rumble. I just think that it'd be more interesting to watch him win the Elimination Chamber this time.
Yeah, my thoughts on it is that whoever wins the Rumble, if they don't pick Roman, they look like a bitch. So
that's also a very good point, and I do agree with you.
Yeah, so I don't think Cody can do a thing of like, if they do the chamber, it'd be for a shot at the other title. I don't think it's going to be like, hey, let's. I'm just throwing a name out there. Gunther wins the Rumble, and it's like I'm going after Roman Reigns, and then it can't be, hey, Elimination Chamber winner gets a shot at a title, and then Cody makes it a triple threat match. I don't think that looks great for Cody winning that, making that a triple threat match. So that's why it seems like Cody's just set to win the Rumble unless they get The Rock or Joey Janela to be in the Rumble to win it.
He comes out as Bruce Hart.
Shoots on everybody and just wins it for himself.
He would just, he'd do the Road Dogg Royal Rumble 2000 strategy and just hide under the ring. Not under the ring. He would hug the ring post. Go back and watch the 2000 Royal Rumble. Just like go to the middle of the Royal Rumble match, and you'll see Road Dogg is just cuddled up in the corner. They even pointed out hugging the ring post on the inside of the ring. He's not eliminated. He can still be there. It's a perfect strategy.
I need Big E to come back at the Rumble,
please,
and do, for many reasons, and do his what he pitched of like he's like oily and naked. And he just is on, and you can't grab him. You can't pay. He's gonna dead weight you in the middle of the ring, and so like you can't pick him up to throw him over the top because he's just gonna go completely limp in the middle of the ring, and so you can't do anything with him, and he wins. He wins in that way. That's what we need with Big E.
It's the greased up deaf guy all over again.
Yeah, that's you can't catch him, throw him over the top. This is Big E's big pitch to win the Rumble, and I'm on board with it. Someone should do it.
Has he called it Big E's big pitch?
I don't know. They have more episodes, like best of episodes, than they have like actual first run episodes now.
I missed that damn podcast. I unfollowed it a long time ago when I realized they ain't coming back.
Nah, it's not coming back, unfortunately.
It used to be better, Jeremy.
Yeah, it was a good podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, with Drew doing what he did on Monday, I like the way we got there. I like that it's been built for a few weeks. They even drew attention to it with the conversations with Rhea in the back. And then you had people drawing attention to this. You had Seth drawing attention to it in front of the audience and showing it leading up to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Like there's some really good stuff that's going on building into this WarGames match. I fully understand the people who are also like, I'm ready for this to be over because we had another tag team title match on Monday night, which like of the ones they've done, yeah, fun match. It's just the same thing over and over again, but at least we had something come out of it with Drew getting involved and cementing himself as part of WarGames. But other than that, like let's get to the finish line. It might feel like we have to drag ourselves over the finish line if Drew doesn't get the victory. Does he pin Seth and make it a big deal?
Again, this is where if Seth gets pinned, you need Priest immediately, unless Drew does pin Seth, makes it a big deal. Priest tries to cash, and Drew takes that briefcase and is like, "No, we ain't doing this. Like, I'm the one who pinned him," and he prevents the cash in.
Or Judgment Day jumps Drew, and they just like, your services are done. Like, we don't need you anymore. And then Priest still tries to cash in after
he's got a. I think if Judgment Day wins, Priest has to attempt to cash in. Otherwise, I think it looks a little silly because they've won. Typically, WarGames, yeah, one guy only gets pinned or submitted or whatever, but everybody else is out. That's why they can't prevent the breakup, right? Because they are also neutralized. So let's say that Jay gets pinned. Seth is probably taken out somewhere. Maybe he's out of, maybe, they fight to the back and he can't get taken out, even though the cage is supposed to keep everybody inside. Maybe that's how he can't get pinned, and that's where they get around it. But I think if everybody's in that cage and Judgment Day wins, the cash in should happen. Otherwise, I think it looks a little silly because typically they're going to stand tall at all of that. So it becomes, does the cash in happen and actually happen? Or does the cash in try to happen and Drew does end up preventing it? But then you're really babyfacing Drew a little bit there. And I don't know if you want to like Paul White him turn.
I mean, that would be fun. No, who am I kidding? Here's the big question. Does Shinsuke Nakamura come in and beat down Cody Rhodes during the WarGames match or the following Monday to set up their holiday feud?
Sorry, I'm getting a message from the wife. Say that again.
Does Shinsuke Nakamura come in and take out Cody Rhodes during the WarGames match, or does he set that up Monday to start Cody Rhodes' holiday feud against Shinsuke?
One more time.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Will he show up in the WarGames match and take out Cody Rhodes, or will they wait until the Monday after WarGames to start their feud that will last through the holidays?
It's not going to happen at the WarGames match. Like,
why not?
No, that's not happening. That's dumb. I don't like that. I don't need anybody interfering in the WarGames match. That's stupid.
I agree. That being said, would they do it?
That being said, it's stupid.
But they would do it. So you think that it'll start on the Monday Night Raw following the WarGames?
If they're gonna feud, sure. Why is that the feud? Why is this the plan?
Seems like the term you're privileged was a direct shot at Cody Rhodes. Out of everyone in that WarGames match, out of everyone, like who else is privileged on the Raw roster? Jey Uso?
All of them. They got jobs. They're all privileged.
Stop it. Nakamura has a job too.
I mean, Cody, yeah. Jay, yeah, a little bit. There's got to be other second. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, they're Triple H's kids. Like, you can take that however you want to take that with the privileged thing. You can spin that in a million different ways to do the feud.
It feels to me like it's a Cody Rhodes feud.
Okay.
Especially, and again, it just goes until the Rumble. It culminates with it can't be qualifying match because really they should both be in the Rumble. But it feels like it's just something that they'll blow off in a big steel cage over the holidays, like on Monday Night Raw, live from wherever we're taping on the holidays. Let's take a look at the calendar. January 1st, live from San Diego, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Cody Rhodes in a steel cage match. Happy New Year.
Shinsuke is not going to be on that show.
Why not?
San Diego, he's be surfing, brother.
That's true. He's going to spend the day. He's going to show up in his wetsuit to wrestle at 11 o'clock. He's just going to be the overrun. But yeah, that's kind of where my brain's at. I do think Shinsuke's going after Cody. There's no one else that really makes sense.
I agree. Like, I'm fine with a Shinsuke Cody feud as a bridge to the Rumble and everything. I can see that. I don't have an issue with it. But there should not be any type of Shinsuke interference at Survivor Series during WarGames. That's stupid.
So I agree with that. I bring it up just because it's something that would have happened maybe last year. I'm hoping that it's not something that goes over this year.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything like that with the interference and stuff in this match because it sounds like they, and again, that we're all speculating and kind of fantasy booking stuff. But we're already potentially overbooking this anyway with a Drew turn, a Randy turn, a cash in. We don't need to throw in a Nakamura interference in the middle of all of this.
Well, that's why I took out the Randy Orton turn altogether and the Drew turn. To me, it's like Drew didn't turn. Drew's just like, I'm joining you guys because you're an effective unit. And I feel like Drew, like we said earlier, I feel like Drew's going to say, I'm going to win this match. I'm going to pin Seth Rollins and I will get my World Heavyweight Championship match because he said it to Seth. He's like, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. What's the best way to work your way back up without starting from the bottom? You pin the champion again.
Yeah. And again, I think if he does pin the champion, then it becomes okay. When's Priest going to cash in? He should cash in. Do they take out Drew to neutralize the cash in? Does Drew prevent the cash in that case? So I think there's some good angles you can play if Drew ends up winning. And does Randy lay out Jay with an RKO and all of that? No interference. I don't think Cody wants the interference either to set up his next feud. You can easily do that the next or 2 nights later on Raw, set up whatever Cody is going to set up. I still don't know if it's going to be Cody. He's still got stuff to do with like Jay and Sammy and everything. I don't know if Nakamura and Cody is a thing that's going to happen. But I see what you're saying of the privilege thing. But again, you can spin that any way you want to with any member of the roster and say how this is how they are privileged.
It just feels like they've been building this for so long that they have to watch out and not become the Aleister Black knock on my door story, where he then goes after Big E and then gets fired the next week.
Well, they gotta give Nakamura a win off of this because he lost those matches to Seth. So that's why I kind of hope it's not Cody, because Cody ain't losing these matches. Like, you gotta, I like this stuff that they're doing with Nakamura. At some point, you got to make him credible by having him beat somebody credible. If he just keeps losing big matches, then what's the point?
Well, he beat Otis. Like, he had a match against Otis, and it'll probably turn into a match against Gulak. Like, again, I know it's Alpha Academy and, it's Alpha Academy, but they're going to give him a string of wins to at least make him look credible, to eventually have a match against someone like Cody or whoever he's calling out where he loses. Or maybe he wins the first one, and traditionally in wrestling, you do a steel cage match as the blow off in the third match. Maybe this just becomes the whole holiday season of Cody versus Nakamura. We do a condensed feud that just goes until the new year, or maybe until before the Rumble.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, we will see if that's the direction with Nakamura and Cody. I mean, it's obviously going to be Nakamura and CM Punk. That's the real privilege here. Nakamura's doing GTSs. Nakamura's making a bunch of references to CM Punk. So I don't know why we're speculating about Cody. It's obviously CM Punk.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? Nakamura, go to sleep.
There you go. Good job, Joel.
Chi-Town Spurs had a super chat earlier saying, very happy Troll was able to get down from the NXT roof in one piece. Yes, I even knocked over a cameraman on my way down. Did you know that I can live up there rent-free and I don't have to face? Well, I don't have to face any new talent like this or build new talent. If I stay on the roof, I'm doing my job. I am at work, but I am not being called upon to do things that I don't need to do. Give me the main event.
What if someone throws you off the roof?
Then I come back in about 20 minutes, smoking a cigarette and not even soaking wet, and I do my match and I win.
Did you hear the story behind that?
We talked about it on this show.
Oh, I forgot.
Evan Sullivan interview.
I don't remember what we talked about on this show.
Well, let's talk about AEW Dynamite. Preview is ready to go.
All right, we have a tremendous lineup tonight, everybody, for AEW Dynamite. It is the beginning of AEW Full Gear Week. It's going to be one of the biggest weeks in AEW history, as AEW Full Gear takes place this Saturday live from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. But tonight, AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, TBS. We have the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. They'll be in action at Full Gear, but before they get to Full Gear, they'll be in action tonight on AEW Dynamite against Penta El Zero Miedo and Commander. Ray Phoenix was not able to make this match, but Penta El Zero Miedo has found a worthy replacement in Commander. They take on the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Tonight, AEW Dynamite. And then this Saturday at AEW Full Gear, the Young Bucks will be in action against the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. If the Young Bucks win, they will retain their AEW tag team title shots, and they'll also do trio stuff with Kenny Omega as well. But they're going after the tag team titles, but they also want to do trio stuff with Kenny Omega. Just get that correct. But if the Young Bucks lose, and Jericho and Omega gotta break up too. If the Jets, they're gonna move from Winnipeg to Atlanta. They're going to become the Atlanta to that was hockey stuff, everybody. They will no longer be the Winnipeg, the Golden Jets. They will be the Silver Thrashers. Boom, nailed it.
Sounds awful.
Silver Thrashers.
Tony, go back to Jacksonville.
The Young Bucks will be in action at AEW Full Gear against the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. If Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho win, they will become the #1 contenders for the AEW Tag Team titles. They will get the shot that the Young Bucks earned at Wrestle Dream that was never referenced for like 3 weeks until we finally remembered to reference it on television. Also tonight on AEW Dynamite Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, TBS, Orange Cassidy and Orange Hook Cassidy, whichever you want to call them. They will be in tag team action against Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club. This is a big match ahead of AEW Full Gear when Orange Cassidy will defend the AEW International Championship against Jon Moxley in a rematch that he's really been looking forward to since AEW All Out when Jon Moxley beat Orange Cassidy for the AEW International Championship. Plus, tonight, we have the most colorful matchup in AEW history as Red Velvet takes on Sky Blue, and the winner of the match will be added to the AEW TBS title match this Saturday at AEW Full Gear. It'll be a triple threat match with Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, taking on the winner of the most colorful matchup in AEW history, Red Velvet against Sky Blue. Yes, Joel.
Tony, why did this match get labeled a TBS title eliminator match when traditionally the eliminator matches are saved for matches against the champion to see if the champion can beat off, well, that's a bad choice of words, the challenger in the eliminator match?
Well, you will be eliminated from the from competing in the TBS title match this Saturday at AEW Full Gear, live on pay-per-view from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. The loser of this match is eliminated from competing in that match. That is why it is an eliminator match. Joel Pearl, thank you. That's a great question, Joel. And you've had a string of great questions. That was a great question. Anyway,
I made it.
AEW Dynamite.
I made it.
Do you have a question?
Yeah. How do you cancel an appointment at a sperm bank?
That's a great question, Sean Ross Sapp.
You call them and tell them that you can't come.
Great question, Sean Ross Sapp. I'll tell you, AEW Dynamite live tonight at TBS. You're going to want to come for the Like a Dragon Gaiden Street Fight. Kenny Omega, Paul White, Kota Ibushi, and Chris Jericho taking on the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Powerhouse Hobbs, Kyle Fletcher, and Brian Cage. You will want to be there. You will want to come see this street fight tonight on AEW Dynamite, live on TBS. It is our great crossover with Sega and the name that I forget, a great crossover with Sega and Yakuza. Yakuza, Like a Dragon.
Dragon Gaiden.
Yes, I know the Like a Dragon part. It's Yakuza. The Yakuza spinoff, Like a Dragon Gaiden Street Fight, tonight live on AEW Dynamite TBS. That game is available now. You can get it on all platforms and Steam. Get the Like a Gaiden Street Fight. Get the game. Watch the street fight. Come to the street fight. Kenny Omega, Paul White, Kota Ibushi, Chris Jericho against the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Powerhouse Hobbs, Kyle Fletcher, Brian Cage. Tonight, what will happen in the Like a Gaiden Street Fight live on AEW Dynamite, live on TBS at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus, we're going to hear from MJF following last week's attack on the Acclaimed, where the Devil and his henchmen attacked the Acclaimed, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and badass Billy Gunn, daddy-ass Billy Gunn were attacked by the Devil and his henchmen. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, was very upset about this attack. We're going to hear from the AEW World Champion, even though he doesn't have the title. He's the AEW World Champion. MJF, we're going to hear from him tonight. He's also one half of the ROH Tag Team titles. You can catch him tonight live on AEW Dynamite TBS speaking to the great AEW audience. You can also catch him in action this Saturday, AEW Full Gear. He's going to be in action twice, everybody. You can come see him twice this Saturday at AEW Full Gear. He's going to defend the ROH Tag Team Championships by himself, maybe with a mystery partner, against the Guns, Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn. And then he will be in the main event defending and trying to win back the AEW World title against Jay White. That is MJF against Jay White and our big headlining matchup this Saturday at AEW Full Gear. But before we get to Full Gear, to kick off Full Gear this week, it is AEW Dynamite live tonight on TBS. Thank you to the great AEW audience. Thank you for watching and supporting AEW. We have a tremendous lineup for tonight for everybody. AEW Dynamite live, 8 p.m. Eastern, TBS. Justified, this is awesome chant. Thank you to the great AEW fans.
Did we get the Moxley tag?
Yeah, I said that. Orange Hook, Cassidy Hook, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta. I mentioned that.
Sure.
Listen to the product, Joel.
Never. No, I was way too confused by Sean's run-in, thinking he was part of the bit, and then realizing he was very much not part of the bit and didn't know what was going on. Although I would love to see him actually pull that shit in a real media call setting.
Well, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, AEW's Tony Khan will speak to the media.
There it is. Did that just come out? Is that happening?
Nah, that was announced yesterday. But yeah,
was-
that's it. Joel, can
I was
I express? I'm gonna express my dread again on Friday. Can I express my dread for Saturday night?
Of course, I know what you're going to say, and I largely agree with it. So let's go.
They're in the West Coast. They're on the West Coast. This show for me, it's gonna end at midnight as all these AEW shows end. Then we gotta wait 40 minutes for the press conference to start, and then it'll finally start, and then it'll go until 2.5 hours. Right? It's gonna go longer because what is midnight in California? 9 o'clock. Tony Khan's gonna be sitting up there at 9 o'clock. Really 9:40 by the time it starts because again you gotta wait 40 minutes. But it's only going to be 9:40 in California. That's all. 9:40. Are you trying to play like the music? It's coming through terribly. Stop it.
Here we go.
All I'm hearing is like feet. No, please turn it. No.
Getting you ready for your press conference.
You're going to get us copyrighted. AEW is going to find this video.
They are going to. It's in our background music folder on this thing.
Well, you still might get us copyrighted. It's going to be 9:40 in California. Tony's going to be like, oh, it's only 9:40. We got all the time in the world. And I'm going to be here on the East Coast and be like, Tony, it is 12:40 on the East Coast. And then it's going to become 11:40 on the West Coast. Tony's like, oh, it's only 11:40. It's not even midnight here. And be like, Tony, it is 2:40 on the East Coast on a Saturday. We got things to do on a Sunday. Don't you have a Jaguars game to go to tomorrow? Like, can you figure something out? Don't do it to me, Tony. Please. Don't do it to me, Tony. I guess Sean's here saying, oh, okay. He didn't even know the pay-per-view. Sean, AEW Full Gear, live this Saturday from the Kia Forum, 8 p.m. Eastern on pay-per-view.
Well, no, I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday AEW put out a tweet saying that it was on Sunday with the banner that said the show was on Saturday.
Social media team is on it as usual.
Jeff!
It's on Saturday. Like, just please don't have, like, I know Tony thinks that the whatever time zone he's in or that everybody is built like him. No, we're not. We're not. It's going to be still early on the West Coast. Remember us East Coasters, Tony. The people who come to all of these shows in Chicago and New York. Remember us East Coasters, please. Just remember us when it's only 9:40 on Saturday. But it's 12:40 over here on Sunday on the East Coast. Please just remember us East Coasters. That's all I'm asking. I don't want the East Coast to be forgotten.
You'll never be forgotten on the East Coast.
Although it feels like it sometimes.
I did just realize that if I wanted to come home on the Sunday, take the red eye Sunday night, if I go to Hard to Kill and I stick for the TV tapings, I just realized that I could do that because the TV tapings will probably finish by like 9 o'clock. Maybe not because they're TV tapings, so they could start later. Pay-per-view is going to end at like 9 o'clock. I'm all for that. Let's go. Anyway, yeah, I got nothing else to add. Do we want to talk about Friday? What the plan is?
The plan is for Ricky Shane Page of MLW to join us on the show at the top of the show at 10 a.m. Eastern, live on In the Weeds. So yeah, Ricky Shane Page is scheduled to join us from MLW. So we'll talk about some MLW with him. I do want to ask him about the taking phones away at independent shows. That was a big topic. I want to dive deeper into his thoughts on that. Yeah. And we'll talk about Full Gear and we'll talk about Fallout from Dynamite and all that fun stuff. So Hassan Bana says, is there going to be a serious preview for Dynamite and Full Gear, or is this just a skit? Typically we do more of an actual preview for Dynamite. We'll preview Full Gear on Friday. We'll see what happens tonight on Dynamite and stuff. Large AEW conversations typically happen more on Fridays and Mondays coming off of the weekend, but there's no real preview for Dynamite. Should be a good show. Interested to see what MJF has to say, and That's sort of it. I imagine Sky Blue's going to win the colorful match, and should be some good matches and stuff. Street fight would be fun. I imagine. I do hope that like Kenny Omega pulls out a Sega Saturn and like hit somebody with it. Those things are pretty expensive. So
grab a Dreamcast. We've already done that. That was they did that on Impact. They made a big deal.
Yeah, they did a 64 on Impact, but like this is a Sega.
They've done both. They've done both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that's what I want. I want him to hit somebody with like a Sega Saturn. So I think that'd be funny.
There you go. Looking forward to talking with RSP on Friday. He's got a big ladder match coming up. Him and his tag team partner Akira take on Second Gear Crew for the MLW World Tag Team Championships. Again, that's a ladder match. So we're looking forward to talking to RSP about that and plenty more. Put your phones in front of your faces and drop a thumbs up on your way out, okay? And of course, you can subscribe to the channel because we drop content every single day. Again, we send our best to Haley and Kylie. The Tag Talk girls did their last show this past Monday. Go watch that. It was fun. Jeremy showed up. Kate showed up. All the friends showed up. I was unable. I was on the road, so I couldn't do it.
You're not a friend.
I literally got off the subway and I'm like, I'm going to join now. And then I saw they weren't live anymore. And so I just sent them each a DM expressing my thanks and my appreciation for them. So I send it here as well. Jeremy, is there anything else you want to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, Haley got fired and she didn't quit. She got fired. That's true. Yeah,
she is the enemy. That's right.
The enemy. Yeah.
That's right.
Do you know your enemy? Your enemy.
No, we got to play Enemy by Fozzy so that people think she's actually re-signing with us at the next pay-per-view.
I can do Drake.
Please don't.
I got enemies.
Nope.
Got a lot of enemies.
Nope, not interested.
Trying to rob me of my energy.
Nobody likes Drake. Nobody likes Drake. We getting out of here? You done? You good?
Do you want me to sing some more?
Nope, not at all. I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for another one of these, whatever they are. Cheers.